Órale, Cholo Trucker Wrestling Rehab. Shout outs to all the junkies out there. And it is backlash time. I'm going to be honest with you guys, man. Before we get into the predictions, backlash has kind of flown under the radar. I mean, I knew it was coming up, but I don't really hear much excitement for it. It's just kind of being like brushed under the carpet, man, swept under the carpet a little bit. But yeah, anyway, let's go ahead and let's get to the predictions. I wanted to go ahead and watch SmackDown just in case there was any changes. But let's go ahead and get to the predictions here. And of course, we'll start with the Women's Intercontinental Championship between Lyra Valkyria and Becky Lynch. Look, I know Becky fans are all into this match. I've said it before. I'm not that big of a Becky fan. Uh, there's definitely, I mean, she's good, but to me, she's not great. She was never really that big of a star for me personally, but I know people love her, and she's heel. Lyra Valkyria, you know, they're trying to get her over. I'm not sure if it's really working. Honestly, I'm really not sure if it's working, man. She doesn't really get big pops. But they're trying. She's a pretty good wrestler. Um, Maybe needs to work a little bit more on the mic skills. But as far as this match itself, do I really care that much? No, honestly, not really, man. I'm not that big of a fan of Becky Lynch or Lyra Valkyria. Hopefully, Lyra does a little bit more cool things because she is a good wrestler. So, um, as far as this match, how does this match go down? Look, I think maybe you can put the strap on Becky Lynch. Becky is not going to go after the main title anymore. At least I don't think so. There might be one run, depending on how long she depends. I'm sorry, depending on how long she decides to stick around. Becky has been kind of this in and out kind of person, sticks around for a little bit, then leaves for a little bit, then comes back. So unless she's going to be full time back, I don't think she's going to go for a major title run. But as far as the Intercontinental Championship, I could see her winning it. I could see her winning it and probably holding on to it for, maybe 2 months, maybe even longer, maybe to SummerSlam. I could see her. She doesn't have to hold it and go for a long title reign with it. But um, Lyra, if you're trying to get Lyra over, I think a victory over Becky Lynch is a good start, is a good way to do it. Um, Gosh, man, I could see this match going either way. But just for the Intercontinental Championship, just for the strap itself, I'm gonna go with Becky. Just to put the strap over, to make the title, the championship more important. I'm gonna go with Becky Lynch over Lyra Valkyria. But I mean, I'm not 100% sold on it. So, but I got Becky Lynch. All right, let's move on to the United States Championship Fatal Four Way match. This match is going to be one of the better matches. Um, Possibly match of the night, possibly. And it is El Campeón, right? Damian Priest against LA Knight. Yeah, against Drew McIntyre, against the United States champion, Jacob Fatu. There is no way in hell, no way in hell that they're getting the strap off of Jacob Fatu. Heck no. Fatu is over, man. He's one of those guys from the, finger quotes, new bloodline that has actually broken away. And he's becoming a star just on his own. So I'm not even sure that new bloodline thing even exists anymore. But he's more over than Solo. That's for sure. Now, the only thing I can see happening here for Fatu losing the title is Solo turning on him and costing him the title. Now, will that hurt Fatu? I don't think it will because it's got to start a rivalry between Solo and Fatu. However, it's probably a little too early. That's probably a little bit more down towards SummerSlam. So you might want to, keep that one in the holster for a little bit. I know it's lock and loaded. We all see it coming. All you got to do is pull the trigger on it. But I would say keep it in the holster for a little bit, have Solo out there kind of making certain faces like he's trying to help Fatu, but at the same time, not really trying to help him. Keep it reserved a little bit longer. So I don't think they're going to pull the trigger on that one yet. So yeah, I definitely see Fatu holding on to the United States Championship for a little bit more before SummerSlam. I would say before SummerSlam, then Solo probably screws him over for whatever title defense he has. But as far as this one, I don't see them taking the strap off Fatu, man. So as we move on to the next match, here's the one. It's either the Fatal Four-Way match or this match right here that's going to be match of the night. Of course, we're talking about the Intercontinental Champion, Dirty Dominic Mysterio, baby, against Penta. Man, both of these guys can throw down in the ring. You know what? I am I am so happy for Dirty Dom. I am. And by the way, now without Liv Morgan in the picture, she's off shooting a movie. Dirty Dom can kind of do his own thing, man. He doesn't need to be in this storyline of he has a girlfriend or anything of that sort. Yeah, he's still part of the Judgment Day, and we see it coming, right? We see it coming with Finn Balor that something's gonna happen there. Finn Balor is not happy. Does it happen here? Does he cost Dirty Dom the IC strap? No, at least not yet. We got AJ Styles who confronted Dirty Dom saying, "Hey, I'm coming after that IC strap," right? Not yet, man. Not yet. A lot of these titles that were just won at WrestleMania, um, I think it's too soon to drop them. However, look, if you want to blow the minds out of people, heck, you may, you have them drop a title. I'm not talking about this match right here in particular, but whoever won a strap at WrestleMania, and people are thinking like, it's too soon to drop the strap. Hey, you let them drop the strap right away, right at the next PLE. In this case, is Backlash. I'm not talking about this match right here in particular, but yeah, I don't see Dominic losing the Intercontinental Championship. However, Dominic is over. He's over. He doesn't need the Judgment Day anymore. And now with JD McDonough back, um, I could probably see them possibly taking the strap off Dirty Dom and then him chasing it down again. However, is he going to chase it down going after Penta? Not really, because if Finn Balor costs him the match, then he's going to go after Finn Balor and is going to take Dominic away from the Intercontinental Champion. He could always circle back and come back to it. And then you also got to think of what's the storyline going to be when when Liv Morgan comes back. Is she just going to come back right into the fold, right into Dominic's arms, or is there going to be some sort of friction there, right? Um, Dirty Dom, I think he's over. People are starting to like him a little bit more. He's still one of those guys, man, that you kind of love to hate. But he's in one of those sweet spots, man, where some people love him, some people hate him, but nonetheless, you have an opinion of him. As far as this match right here, I think he remains Intercontinental Champion. Finn Balor at some point is definitely going to screw over Dom. I just don't think it happens at Backlash. All right, let's move on to the only match on this card that is not for a championship. Every match on Backlash is for a title except for this one right here. And of course, we're talking about El Ring General, Gunther against Pat McAfee. I thought I heard on SmackDown that this is McAfee's eighth match. I don't remember him being in that many matches. I remember him being in a few matches, but I don't know. Maybe I heard wrong. I'm not really sure. But Pat McAfee, I will say, I do remember his matches, and he does pretty good, man. He could throw down. This is kind of an odd one. You just had Gunther lose the title to main event Jey Uso. Um, and now he's gonna have a match with Pat McAfee. That it's a little bit of an oddball, right? Um, Look, I don't know what you do if you have Pat McAfee go over on Gunther, unless Gunther is gonna take a hiatus for a while. Because look, let's be honest, I'm kind of glad this is happening. I do not want to see Gunther and Jey Uso again. So this is taking Gunther away from the title picture, which is good. And it was like, okay, how is that going to happen? He just lost it at WrestleMania. How is he just going to walk away if you keep him around? I just kind of thought, hey, give him some time off. But instead, they went down this route, which is fine. The only way Pat McAfee can go over on Gunther is if Gunther's going to take some significant time off. I'm talking about he takes time off and he doesn't come back till SummerSlam, right? If not, he has to be Pat McAfee. There's no way you just bury Gunther like that. He has to beat Pat McAfee, which is going to be odd because then Pat McAfee is going to go back to doing commentary and you're going to have Gunther coming out and cutting his promos. And what's that going to look like? And, this match is just kind of an oddball all the way around. It's just an oddball all the way around. So I got Gunther winning this match. I think Pat McAfee does okay in the ring. He's not that bad of a wrestler. So it should be somewhat of an entertaining match. Who gets involved, who doesn't get involved? I'm not really sure. I'm not really sure. Maybe you got some of Pat McAfee's buddies, some of his homies from his show that try to get involved just so they could get a little bit of camera time. But yeah, I got Gunther going over on Pat McAfee. All right, as we go into the main event, baby. Now, I was looking at CBS Sports. CBS Sports is the only one that had Tiffany Stratton versus Nia Jax at Backlash. But everywhere else I looked did not have that match, nor did they advertise that match on SmackDown last night. So I'm not going to do that match. So I don't know where CBS Sports got that, but yeah, look, I'll be honest with everybody, man. Before probably about a week ago, I was thinking that Jey Uso versus Logan Paul was going to be at Backlash. I was kind of on board that, oh, Nia Jax is back. Okay, we're gonna get that match at Backlash, but no, we're back to the five match PLEs, which is fine for me. Some people complain about it. I don't. I have no issue with it. It changes things up. It does. It changes things up. We don't get main event Jey Uso on this one, but we'll get them at the next one, right? Um, as far as this one right here, okay, John Cena versus Randy Orton. John Cena, who somebody threw a beer at him last night. um, yeah, man, what an old school rivalry. They are really pushing this match that this is the last time they will ever meet. Um, Cody Rhodes. is on a hiatus right now, which is fine. Let John do his thing. Um, Randy Orton just comes out of nowhere, RKO out of nowhere, letting him know, hey, you're not the only OG on the roster, right? Look, there is no way in hell John Cena's losing the title. It's not going to happen. The way they're promoting this, the way they're advertising this, the way they're pushing this, they've been to St. Louis quite a few times, but this time around, they're really pushing it like, hey, man, this is Randy Orton's hometown. They've never pushed the fact that that's Randy Orton's hometown. I mean, people know that that's where he's from, but now they're like really pushing it. He's the hometown boy. He's the hometown kid going to St. Louis, his hometown. They've never pushed St. Louis, and they've been to St. Louis plenty of times. They never push Randy Orton that that's his hometown, even though that is. But yeah, man. SmackDown last night, John Cena goes out there, cuts a promo. I'm not sure if John Cena's having a good time. This is his last final year. It almost seems like he's not even really enjoying it. Like he doesn't want to be the heel. He's just doing it because he has to do it. There has to be a babyface turn at some point. I don't think John Cena can go out as a heel. It's still kind of hard to fathom that he's a heel. When he comes out, it's all dark and it's like, yeah, I don't know. It just doesn't feel authentic. It doesn't feel right. His promos aren't bad. I'll tell you guys that much. His promos aren't really that bad. But yeah, I don't it's I don't e- I'm I don't even think he is buying the fact that he's a heel. So but yeah, there's no way John Cena loses this match. Now, some people are saying, "Hey, Cody Rhodes comes back at Backlash." Well, if Cody Rhodes does come back at Backlash, he's not going to cost John Cena the strap. It'll be John Cena winning the match, and then Cody Rhodes gets in the ring and, does something, him with a Cody cutter or something. But he won't cost John Cena the actual match. You know what, man? I'm just for the nostalgia part. Is this going to be a great match? Probably not. But just for the nostalgia, you know, just because these two guys are the two OGs, the most OGs on the roster, I would think. Trying to think off the top of my head, who is more OG than these two guys on the roster right now? Um, I don't know, man. Rey Mysterio, I don't know. I think it's these two guys. And my sons, they grew up. I mean, I've been watching wrestling since the early 80s, but my sons, they're in their early 20s. They grew up watching these two guys. To them, these two guys are their childhood. So, excited for that, for them to witness this, one last time. And it's like, you keep advertising it as one last time. So whoever wins, like that's it. They're never going to chase the title again, or you're already painting the picture that if Randy Orton wins the title, John Cena is just gonna not go after it anymore. So yeah, there's no way John Cena loses the strap. It's gonna be an okay, decent match. I think it's more of the meaning, the more of the rivalry for as long as these two guys have been doing the damn thing, and they face each other. I forgot how many times to do it one last time. I think that is the big attraction when it comes to this match. But the match itself, in ring performance, it probably won't be that great, especially when you got the fatal four-way match, especially when you got Penta versus Dominic Mysterio. As far as the meaning, just for everybody who's been watching wrestling for years, to see these two OGs get in there and do their thing, I think that's the big part in all of this, man. But John Cena definitely gonna hold on to the strap. Who the heck was that douchebag that tried to go? You know, that was funny last night on SmackDown before I ended. They had some little dude go in there to try to give an RKO to John Cena. John Cena caught him, hit him with the attitude adjustment, formerly known as the FU, right? And I'm like, that's not Randy Orton. It's like, who the hell is that? They never showed who that was. And then Randy Orton comes in and lands the RKO out of nowhere. Anyway, man, look, it's Backlash. I don't know how many people are really truly excited for this. I don't really hear a lot of hype about it. I don't really see too many people that excited for Backlash. Me, myself, personally, like I said, it kind of flew a little under the radar. Yes, I knew it was coming, but it's not like I really marked it on my calendar like, oh man, I can't wait for this. I think there's some cool stuff, some cool matches on here. It seems pretty predictable, but nonetheless, I mean, hopefully they put on a good show, man. Let's see what surprises, if any, are going to be on here. Does Finn Balor screw over Dominic? You know, anything of that sort. What happens with Solo Sikoa? Does he actually screw over Fatu? Or is it just going to be a basic PLD all the way through and through, man? We'll see. What's your guys' thoughts, man? But with all that, I will enjoy Backlash. Hopefully, it's a good show. Hopefully, you guys enjoy it. You guys let me know. Cholo Trucker Wrestling Rehab. Shout out to all the junkies. Catch you guys on next one.